are suffering, family. Mainly, if you look at it, when I open up my mouth, I'm basically talking about the poor inner city communities, people that I see how they tend to set up these programs. They set up things to keep them helpless and hopeless. I can only share stuff like this, family, being an activist, doing what I do. I just don't run off at my mouth, family, right? Then I have to share it with y'all because I'm not by myself. I deal with other human rights advocacy groups. I'm just trying to educate the community. I'm just trying to educate people. And if you don't want to hear my mouth and you like going on platforms where they talking bull crap, and that's what you get off on, that's fine. I can't knock you. But when it comes to fighting for people's civil rights, equal rights, and constitutional rights, I can tell you, because I'm from Baltimore City. Hey, Just, I can tell you, because I'm from Baltimore City, what we're doing in Baltimore City to slow a lot of this down. The only thing I ask y'all to do, if you in Chicago, you in Philly, you in New York, you in Detroit, you in DC, you involved in your communities, come up and share with us what you are doing to help reduce the crime rate in your city, what you are doing to help reduce the homicide rate or the unalive rate in your city. Come up and share with us what you're doing to help reduce with other organizations now, because I already know you're not by yourself, what you are doing in your city to help reduce the Finney. The same way they poured that stuff back in 1980 into the city, that's what they doing with the Finney. And who is it mainly wiping out? Most of the people who in the black community that's using it. So y'all will sit back, right? And you'll talk about what happened in 1980, not realizing the Finney that's in the community is poison. It's designed. So when y'all hear Big share certain things, I'm talking about as a community person, what I see and the things that we need to do to slow a lot of it down. We might not ever put a stop to it, but the point is coming up with ways and means to slow it down. Because you know it's wiping the population out. I can only speak for the BLK people, right? That is hitting this race the hardest. Because I can only speak from where I'm at. I can't speak about everywhere. You don't never hear me talk about over in Israel they doing this, or over in Iran they doing this, or over in Africa. I don't live there. So I'm not going to compare whatever that's happening in the United States of America to what other countries is doing. They over there, whatever that's going on in their country, they doing what they can to resolve those issues. What are we doing? Nothing but sitting back complaining. That's all. And then you all go on platforms where they put prompts up where we can talk bad about each other. When I come up, to be honest with y'all, I'm not going to sit back and try to down us like that. I don't think a woman is no better than a man. I don't think no man is better than a woman. I ain't in competition with none of them. Y'all in competitions with women. I'm not. I don't look at women as being masculine. If a man's supposed to be masculine, I look at a man. Why am I going to look at a woman because she's a strong, powerful, independent woman, because she don't have a man in her life to provide for her? But then I want to call her masculine because she's standing on her own 2 feet. Well, 10 toes. Come on. As a man now, I'm proud of her. Know why? Because I raised my nieces and nephews and daughters like that, and son. I'm proud of them. Very, 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 very independent women. The only thing I have a problem with certain things, right, is that I wanted them to choose better when it came to allowing an independent man into their lives. I wanted them to invite men that's responsible and productive financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And if you can't meet them on that level, don't try to come in their life. Come on, you're going to disappoint me as a man. Will you feel like you can lay off my daughters and don't carry your own weight? Yes, I'm going to be very, very disappointed for them to choose you. But then I got to be all right with their choice. But then you and I are going to have some words from time to time. If you think it's okay for you as a man to live off a woman. Now, I'm telling you, Big Unc now. You got some fathers-in-laws out there might not mind you living off their daughters and they doing what they do. But this one right here, I'm going to have a problem with it. Most of all, I will be disappointed in them. Because my thing is, I raised you better than that. I'm talking from a father's point of view. And if you are a father with children, you understand where I'm coming from. If you're not, well, I'm going to back that up a little bit. If you are a father with children and you take care of your responsibilities, you'll understand where Big Unc coming from. Okay? Even with my son. Anything he produces in this world, he better take care of it. Don't come to me telling me, well, suppose he don't want to. He shouldn't have did it. Don't you come at me like that. That's why when y'all see me on certain platforms, we can talk now. Don't get it wrong, because I respect where everybody is at. But let me show y'all this prompt, right? Because I told y'all, I said I was going to. It's only 2 ways from the way I was taught to live life, family. Either you do or you don't. You don't straddle the fence. Now, basically what I was taught, that we live, right? Wait a minute. The way I was taught, right? Either you're going to do wrong or you're going to do right in life. Do not straddle the fence. So basically, that's why this says living for evil or living for God. Either, to me, it's only 2 ways to live. Now that's me. Either you serving evil or you serving God, which is the right way. Either you serving wrong or you serving right. But now, AI saved y'all. Because basically, it was saying, in a sense, some of us, and I'm going to use just a little bit of the percentage, right? Some of us who used to live a corrupt lifestyle, we gave 80% to that life. I'm talking about me, when I was in it. 20% to the righteous side. Now that I'm not in the lifestyle, and I'm just breaking it down to my understanding, is 80% being more godly centered than being self-centered or evil. Now, I hope I didn't confuse nobody, but look, it helped me understand it's basically a balance between living right and living wrong, or living healthy and living unhealthy. It said it's a balance. But you might end up putting like more percentage here than you do living right. But then the thing is, you got the opportunity to turn it around. And once it kind of broke it down in that sense, I said I must explain it with my own words in a sense, because I got to look at myself. Today, when I tell y'all I am not that rotten, no good person that I used to be, I can become that person because it's just one individual, me. The same way we set up here, family, and I'm going to try to say it slow because I want y'all to understand. Everything God created was good. Think about that. Everything God created was good. Even that person that we talk about is the devil or the adversary. Wasn't he known as an angel? Right? Then you got Adam. Everything God created was good. God gave Adam a task, the same way he gave Lucifer a task. The only thing Lucifer did was disobey the Father. So he sinned against him. The only thing Adam did was disobey the Father. God told Adam not to do this, not to do that, and Adam did it. So what he did, he disobeyed the Father. I didn't understand that. When you know the difference between right and wrong, when you live a godly, moral, spiritual, God principle life, right? But you turn around and you do corrupt stuff, you're going against your morals, values, and principles. So it's not to say you're a bad person. Look at your character. Look at your personality as a human being. That's all they talking about in the Bible. But a lot of us miss it. There's a good side to you and there's an evil side to you. Or I can say evil, but there's a good side to you and there's a messy side that likes chaos and confusion, but it's still the same individual. I had to learn, family, and I'm trying to fix it where you get it. It's talking about you as a person. I'm a loving, caring, kind, considerate person. And I also can tell you, I can be a rotten, no good son of a sea biscuit too. But I don't like that side of me. That's still Steve Copeland. So I try to let the other side show up. Now I'm trying to break it down just as plain and simple to help you see as a human being, when you know the truth between right and wrong and you go against it. That's just like if my mother says, Steve, don't do this, don't do that, and I go do it anyway. I disobeyed my mother. I sinned against my mother. If you have your mother and your father in the house and they raised you and they say, son, daughters, they raised you up to be a good quality, moral, value, spiritual, principle person. They taught you the difference between right and wrong. And you turned around and do wrong anyway. What you did, you disobeyed your parents. And for some of us that don't have parents like that, we have to look at God, the creator, as a parent. And anytime he tell us through his words not to do this and not to do that, and we fall short, we disobeyed the Father. You might not see it like that. That's fine. But let me read this, finish reading this, y'all. The Couch Talk Show, keeping life real. Living for evil or living for God. Choose between the two. It's only two ways to go in life. Either you're living for evil or you're living a God-fearing lifestyle, right? Stop straddling the fence. This what they tells us in NA. Either you're going to do right or you're going to do wrong, Steve. But to choose between the two. You straddling the fence, that means you still confused. You lost. Blah, 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 blah. You get me? So after that, I got my 12 step. You see it? Spiritual program. We admitted we was powerless. We came to believe in a higher power. I was going to say power greater than ourselves because that's what the other platform says. We surrender and trust that power. Self-inventory. We learned to go inside of self. We admitted wrongs. We was ready for change. Number 6, 7, seek guidance. Make amendments. For a lot of y'all that don't understand, after I did a 4th step work, the resentment, the anger, the fear, the jealousies, the insecurities, the distrust, and all that type of stuff that I was carrying inside, I had to learn to let it go in order to live some peaceful way and peace in my life today. Even though I got hurt in the past and all that type of stuff, I had to learn to forgive whatever happened to me happened. There's nothing I can do. I can't change it. I had to learn to forgive the person who did what they did because there's nothing we can do. We can't change it. I had to learn to forgive myself for how I felt for not being able to correct that wrong because I beat myself up for years. I had to learn to love myself again. I had to learn to forgive myself. I have to learn to trust. So all those areas where I used to carry jealousy, insecurities, distrust, and all that, I had to learn the opposite, like truth, faith, and trust. Every time I open up my mouth, I talk about truth, faith, and trust. There are spiritual principles that you feel back with inside of yourself. It ain't based on nobody else. It's based on you. I had to go back, even though I was hurting, and I did a lot of that stuff out of pain. I had to go back to people that I caused pain and misery to and apologize for my behaviors. Whether they liked it or not or accepted it. It wasn't about them. It was about me letting go of the shame and the guilt that I was carrying for the stuff that I'd done for other people to other people that was done to me. I was only giving back what was done to me. So I had to go back and correct that. I just shared that. Forgive and let go. That's the 9th step. Daily reflection. When you hear me talk about I have to sit down and take a daily inventory, that means I got to look at myself. I got to observe myself. I got to go inside of myself. See, I don't need y'all to tell me how to do work on me. I know how to do work on me. I don't need no psychiatrist. I don't need no therapist. I don't need no counselor. I don't need no hypnosis. Hypnotize the person to tell Steve Copeland what to do. Steve Copeland already know what to do. Who do y'all think they got this information from? People like us who've been through it and learned how to recover from it. So they studied and got letters behind their names. I'm coming from you from a personal level of experience, and it will fly over your head every time. Now, if I want to go talk to a therapist, well, not the psychiatrist, but if I want to go talk to like a counselor, a therapist, or somebody along that line, the only reason why I would talk to them to make sure I'm still walking on the right path. I can talk to my pastor. I can talk to other spiritual brothers and sisters just to make sure I'm still on that spiritual path. And because I'm a Christian man, I have to talk to other believers. Because you might be a Muslim or whatever along that line, it's not that you can't help me. Please don't get it wrong. But I don't need you to base it around, hey, money. I don't need you to base it around your particular religion when it comes to talking with me. Because I'm only going to share this. I don't read the Quran. I don't read all them other books. So when it comes to Bible, that's what I relate more to. But I can't push that on everybody, you get me? Because I know God worked with the Muslim in his special way. He worked with the Hebrew Israelite in his special way. He worked with the Moor Saints in their special way. He worked with the Jew in their special way. Because there's other nationalities and cultures out there. God don't just speak English. You got Chinese people that believe in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit too. Do y'all communicate with them to see? A lot of us, we on the same plane. It's just we might be in different seats on that plane. Please catch what I just said. That's why I don't get too involved in dwelling certain things, because I can only stick to what I know. Now, you can help educate me, but don't push it at me. I'll be like, wow, mainly if you come and say, well, it say this and that, blah, blah, blah. Don't knock what I'm saying, because you might be further. Biblically, I'm going to do that, because a lot of y'all have great knowledge. You might be biblically, because you read the Ethiopian Open Bible and all these other books, so it helps bring stuff together a lot more. I respect that. I respect that. But don't push it. Just share what's been revealed to you, and that's how people like myself catch what you're saying. Be like, wow, I didn't see it like that. But if you push it, the defense wall is going to come up. So now, let me finish the other two, right? The 10th step talks about a daily reflection, right? The 11th step talks about helping others. So once God revealed me to me and give me a purpose through meditation, now I know which way he want me to go. But 9 times out of 10, he's sending me back out to share with somebody else. That's where your 12th step come in at, living the purpose. So whenever I do prayer, whenever I do a self-inventory is prayer and meditation. Because in order for me to do a self-inventory, I got to sit still. I got to quiet the mind. I got to look at me from the head on down. I got to look at the good side, the bad side, because I'm trying to clear out the bad bull crap so I can let the good stuff shine. Once God have made himself known to me, he might be sending me on a purpose. Once his will is made known to me, that's when I go back out to empower, to encourage, to motivate, to lift his people. That's why you never hear me down to nobody. Because number one, I know when I open up my mouth, it's not for everybody. I already know that. When I get my monthly analysis or whatever they call it, right? It might tell me that 65%, my message, my stuff, it might tell me that it has reached 65% of the people in the United States. Then it might say over in Liberia, it reached 3%. It's letting me know 3% of that community be listening to me. Then it might do something for Canada, the UK. It could be 1%. But what it's saying, no matter what I say out my mouth, my message is being heard around the world. So I don't know who needs to hear what I got to say. When I come on here and I say, God, decrease me and increase you, use me, who else better can talk for him? The messenger. Because he'll sit back and say, well, Steve, you can only share from a level of your personal experience. Talk about how you used to be and how you was able to turn your life around by calling out to me. So that's why, yes, people like me, we are messengers. You will sit back and you'll look at the individual, right? Oh, his teeth missing. Oh, this, that. Because you focusing on the physical. Because I be saying the same thing. I'm like, I got to get to the dinner. I'm sick and tired of saying that. I say that myself. I told myself today, Steve, you need to go make your dinner appointment. But guess what? I love Steve with teeth or without teeth. That's you that like judging me. I want you to be learning to be all right with you. Don't worry about Steve, okay? Right? Because if I wasn't, I wouldn't be on here talking like this. Now, to finish saying what I was saying, right? I'm just the messenger. God prepared me for everything I'm doing to this day. When God told me in Jeremiah, said, I knew you before the foundation of this world, I stopped doing my ancestry stuff. Because I went back to the 1600s with the Copeland name. Copeland means farmland. It's a Norse name. See, a lot of y'all say Africa here, Africa there. It's a Norse name. It's a Norse name. Last name. Everybody wasn't born in Africa. Everybody didn't come from Africa. Then they might have to a degree, because I'm looking at the soil. My great-great-grandfather, which is my great-grandfather's father, was a white man. Why am I going to sit here knowing that my great, just the great, when I do this my great-grandfather, Charles White Copeland. So when I say my great-grandfather, my grandfather, great-grandfather, that's Charles White Copeland father. Look, I had to get this right. That's Charles White Copeland father, right? When I talk about him, his father was a white man. So that makes that my second great. You get me? Grandfather was a white man. And let me share this with y'all. What in the hell do I look like? And I'm cursing to be smart. Downgrading white people, knowing my great-grandfather was a white man. And then when I read about the Copeland's name, right? And I'm going to pull it up for y'all because I call myself saving it. And I'm trying to watch stuff for TikTok's sake, right? Because I do not want them to block me for, like, I'm saying something in a horrible way. Because I had to do my research. It's not about y'all. I sat up here and I looked at this. First black woman ever ran for president. I guarantee you, y'all never looked it up. Sure. Did it say Shirley Chisholm? Ran for president on the Democratic ticket. And please don't quote me because I'm here, right? So I could have said the wrong name. That's why y'all need to do your search. Now, my great-grandfather was born in Whitmore, South Carolina. My great-grandfather, my grandfather great. So retarded. My grandfather, father, which made it my great. That's the second great, right? Grandfather great. He was born in 1896. Now I'm looking at his brother name right here, right? That's on the when you do your census from that time. So his brother name was Henry Copeland, which was a year older than him. Then he was born in 1896. Then he had two sisters. I don't know none of them. I can only go by Eli Copeland, lineage to keep track of what's going on. But anyway, I just want y'all to see this what happened when you do the necessary work to find out who you are. I went all the way back, family, to like the 1600s, looking at the Copeland's name And I might have to put it in for y'all. Surname Copeland. Surname Copeland. Meaning. Surname Copeland meaning. Now look. I'm sorry. I gotta put Copeland in. Right. And I'm gonna get away from this. I was just guided over to this family. It just took me here. Now look, my last name is Copeland. This says the last name Copeland is primarily Old Norse, right? An Anglo-Saxon name, meaning brought land. I'm like, her. Now watch the way I do this. Copeland. Brought land. Right? It's the Old Norse name. The names break down into a few distinct historical origins. Brought land, Old Norse. Derived from the words kappa, C-A-U-P-A, land. Right? That's how they first start spelling it. To buy land and territory. It was a location named in the early Middle Ages, land where it was rarely sold and was usually passed down by inheritance. Therefore, purchasing land was notable enough to become an identifying surname. Now, let me share this with y'all, and I'm going to try to get back to my topic. The guy that created Love That Chicken from Popeyes, he was a Copeland. He was a race car driver. As much as I watched that man, I never connected that. Now, I don't know what Kenneth Copeland might be, but I'm quite sure somewhere along that line, because I'm talking about the Copeland name. It's not a Smith. It's not a Thomas. It's not a Williams. So I had to go back and look at the Copeland. Now I'm going to show y'all over the years, right, how it was broken down. Now I'm reading this because I got to get an understanding for myself, and it talks about purchasing land and people named the lands after them, basically. Prominent peak, it talks about Old English. Another linguistic root stems from the Old English word cop, peak, or submit, cop land, and land. It put the two together. Historically, this version identifies someone who lived on or near a prominent hilltop or a distinctive peak. Now watch how the Copeland name begin to break down. Geographic location. It first emerged as surname for people originating from the historic district of Copeland. Now brought in Cuba. Cumbria. I think I said Cuba last time. Cumbraia. And then it talks about Copeland. COUP, then land. Then it talks about in Northumberland, English. Now, mind y'all, I'm going through this, right? This my name now. This Copeland name. All right. I'm reading where it originated from and stuff like that. So common variations of the surname include Cope, C-O-P-L-A-N-D, Coop, C-O-U-P-L-A-N-D, Copland, C-O-P-L-A-N, Coplin, C-O-P-I-L-N. Explore your family tree and historical name distribution in more depths on platforms like the Ancestry. Now, remember what I said. If a man don't know where he came from, he won't know where he's going. Remember when I said that? I say it all the time. If a man don't know where he came from, he won't know where he's going. Now, mind you, I searched this from Ancestry.com all the way back to the 1600s. We talking about royalty. Then from there, this is where God took me to. And I'm going to come up out of here, right? Because I'm not trying to push what the Holy Spirit revealed to me on nobody else. Because you'll never understand. You'll never understand. Now, when I started reading, somebody told me to read Isaiah and the book of Jeremiah. During this time, I was trying to find out who Steve is for my journey and my walk as a minister for Christ. The moment I read Jeremiah and I got to verse 4, now sometimes I'll switch the words up a little bit, but the meaning is basically the same. The Lord said to me, this is God coming to Jeremiah in a dream. But when I read this, it was like the Lord said to Steve Copeland, I choose you before I gave you life. Steve Copeland. And before you were born, I selected you to be a prophet to the nation. Steve Copeland. Now, this is the Lord talking to Jeremiah. But when I read that, it's like he said my name. Now, if you read that and you see Jeremiah, that's fine. But when I read it, it was like he was talking right to me. That's why I do what I do today with this talk show. That's why I do what I do today with the Teen Talk Show. That's why I do what I do today with Strengthen the Community. That's why I do what I do today with the LaTanya D. Copeland House of Hope. So please tell me this wrong. I choose you before I gave you life, or I chose you before I gave you life. Once I read this, and I read the part, and before you were born, I selected you to be a prophet. What God was telling me along that line, before I put you in your father to give to your mother, tell me I'm wrong. Come on. Because guess what? This is what he told me. And if he did not tell you this from you reading and you studying and you know Bible, he wasn't talking to you then. Okay? Do not take it personal. Because I was shocked. I felt privileged that he opened up my eyes to allow me to see the truth behind his word. And I'm not going to say he won't do the same for you. Now, look where I'm at spiritually right now from what I'm sharing, right? There are people more wiser and more educated spiritually than me. They can help me move to that next level of understanding that spiritual journey. Now, guess what I did? And I don't do it too much. I'm in scripture. I'm in the Bible. And it's what came out the Bible. But a lot of people read this stuff, but they don't truly believe it for themselves. I'm no different than Jeremiah. Jeremiah was a human being just like me, who God used. Rather, Jeremiah wrote the book of Jeremiah, not his story is there. That's why I'm not going to argue with nobody about the manuscript. That's another word for the Bible. I'm not going to argue with you. Because if you can't see your own story in here, it's sad to me. Because I remember when I couldn't see myself. That's why I say Bible come to life to me. The same way God told Jeremiah, and Moses. I tell y'all I'm a community activist. I tell y'all I'm a human rights advocate. I tell y'all I'm a homeless advocate. I tell y'all I deal with our organized religion and politics. Shuns. Who do y'all think Pharaoh was? When God told Moses to go tell Pharaoh and them, basically, I said, let my people go, they're not your people. So when I say I'm a community activist, I'm a human rights organizer, I'm in the streets fighting against the people that create laws to tend to oppress and enslave the people. Same way he gave him that task. I'll share that with y'all, but y'all won't see no correlation in it. I see it. And I got to watch this right here because I made a statement and I sent it back over. And TikTok blocked my stream. But now, if I have to pull it up TikTok, because they go to show me y'all don't know everything. In scripture, I will. When Moses gave, I'm not Moses, I apologize. When Pharaoh gave the permission for the midwives to do what they did with all the firstborn black males, that's right in scripture. The only reason why I could say that, family, because now when I look back at the prison, the school to prison pipeline, and it started off at a very, very early young age to not properly educate our young men. If you don't properly educate them, what they gonna do? They're gonna break the law to try to survive. So if they break the laws to try to survive, they're gonna end up in prison. That's that big old slave plantation once again. See, I see the picture. And for TikTok's sake, I know I have to watch what I say out my mouth. It's a setup. That's why, as a human rights advocate, that's why, as a civil rights advocate, that's why, as a community organizer, that's why when you hear me say I'm talking about community, 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 I'm a voice for the voiceless. I already know what I was called to do. I already know my purpose. No man have to fix that. I know who called me. I'm walking in my calling. The title I carry as an ordained deacon, that's what the church gave me. But by right, I'm a minister for Christ. I already know in here. And everything Christ did when he walked this earth is what Steve Copeland and other organization does. Thank you, Holy Spirit. We feed the poor. We clothe the poor. We house the poor. We help them to become more financially independent. See, I ain't got to sit here and just talk just to talk. No, I already know what's in place for them. I deal with people where I fall short, I can guide you here. I can guide you there. I can tell you go over there. I can tell you go over here. And in the word too, it talks about study to show thyself approved. Unto who? God first, not man. I will kid and joke with a lot of y'all, but one thing I do know. Until he send me home, I will never stop my journey because I know it's not about me. So today, I'm going to do this. And this is something I learned in this process of walking. Either you're going to do right or you're going to live wrong. But it's AI to help me to understand it's a balance. Either you're going to give 80% to doing what is right and probably 20% what is wrong. Now I can use that scenario. At 80% one time in my life, I was living the life of being a rotten, no good, nasty, blugger, 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 blugger. I was living that life. But now I can say I'm giving it 80% on this end and 20% on this. And I said, you saved them. Because now I can explain it like that, because that's how I took it. Basically, because you're a human. Sometimes you're going to do right and sometimes you're going to do wrong. Choose this day who you want to serve. Come on, OG.
Oh no, Pastor, preach. I'm listening. I mean, it sounds like we're doing a 12. It sounds like we're doing a 10, 11, and 12 step all at once. So which one are we doing? Are we doing all three?
All of them.
Doing the whole book?
Look, that was the whole book. All.
Well, we doing the whole book.
That was the. But hey, OG. Anytime you and I come up here, we're doing the whole book.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that that's what we're doing.
You're doing the whole book.
Instead of just step by step. I mean, come on now, bro.
Anytime, because we are two OGs. So anytime you and I run off at our mouth, we're doing the work, right? Because we're taking everything that we learned. It's like from the beginning and the middle. We're not at an end. I don't want to put at an end because at the end, that means we're gone. But we are applying those things to our lives to make us better human beings today. So anytime you and I talk, OG, we are doing 10, 11, 12. When you sit up here and you might say stuff out your mouth like I do, like when you was a little bit younger, you felt like this, you felt like that. We talking 4th, 5th step. They might not know what we're saying, but I know what we're saying. And then when we talk about how we feel today, according to how we felt back then, we in the recovery process. We can't do nothing but share recovery, OG. Darn, you make me feel like I'm your sponsor.
Well, I mean, to be real honest with you, in order to be responsible, we have to start at steps 1, 2, and 3. Because the 4th step's gonna kick your ass.
Stop, OG. You almost made me choke on my coffee.
Because that's that step where you are definitely gonna have to write that list. Yeah, that list. You know, that long list that you're gonna regret writing, but you have to do it anyway.
Right.
Just to clean your fucking head because you have so much stuff in there that you need to get it out on paper.
Come on, OG.
So you're doing a self inventory of yourself right now. That's the fourth step. That's the one that's gonna kick your ass if you don't get steps 1, 2, and 3 down first.
Woo!
How the hell are you gonna have recovery if you don't even know what steps 1 mean, or steps 2 mean, or step 3? How the hell are you gonna go to step 4 and you don't know what the fuck you're looking for? Or how to start your fucking fourth step? You're gonna be a dumbass because you don't know the beginning of the book.
You sound like a strict ass sponsor.
I was a strict ass sponsor.
You sound real strict.
I was very strict on my
I could tell.
No, because I did not play that. If you slacked the hell off, I was coming to get you. And if I didn't hear from you, I was coming to your door. You see what I'm saying?
Ah, you know what? That's how we had to carry it.
Bro, I was not playing when it came to recovery.
See, I hear
if you wanted what I had, you better buckle up, Buttercup, because it's gonna be a long, bumpy ride. Because I'm getting ready to take you through hell, brimstone, and fire.
You know what I hear right now, OG? I hear, be honest, and you right now, I hear that predecessor that didn't play around. I hear that. Even though I got 33, but I hear the predecessor because that's how they came for us. When you came in, you kids, you joked with, you played with this thing. They came for you just like you doing now. I hear it, bro. Now, I love it. I feel like, hey, OG, I feel like my sponsor back.
Listen, I had to come that way when I started my recovery because I was tired of being sick and tired of the same bullshit that's been going on. What the fuck am I doing wrong? Okay, so I sleep underneath a viaduct for the night and I get into recovery in the morning. Okay? I have the cops stop in saying, what are you doing? I'm like, look, I'm trying to get into the Salvation Army. I don't have they told me to come tomorrow morning. So I'm just going to sleep up underneath this dock and I'll be cool. The next morning, the cop came and got me and took me to the Salvation Army. And that's where I learned my recovery from. And I had to come in hard because I didn't want nobody thinking that I'm going to be a soft individual when it comes to recovery. No, you're about to make me where I need to be.
Right.
So, yeah. I had to come into recovery like that, bro. That's the only way I knew I was going to get it if I shut the hell up and did what everybody said to do.
Yep.
And that's all I could do. I was a sponge at the time.
Yep.
I was a sponge. I did 120 in 90 days. Okay? They say do 90 and 90. Love.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get strict, tough love to help you get through what you're gonna get through because you're getting ready to go through hell. Because the first 3 steps, you're definitely gonna trip the hell out because you're not gonna know what the hell is going on.
And see, let me share this, OG, why you saying that, because the first 3 steps, like you said, we call it honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. They are spiritual principles that you have to feel within yourself, right? The reason why I'm saying that, because the honesty, being truthful with yourself, having faith in yourself, trusting in yourself is what gave you the, which give you the courage and the confidence to do that fourth step, where you have to take that fearless more inventory, but you need something to go in on it. That's why you have to believe in yourself, have faith in yourself, trust in yourself, because now you going down a road that you've been running away from for the longest time. That's why OG saying what he's saying. So by the time you go in, you got some morals, values, and principles to hold on to, because you are going to confront some stuff. Those things that you said you would never tell nobody, that you would carry to your unaliving, is now what you're going to have to face. And once you get in there, like OG saying, and you start writing these things, you're going to start talking with your sponsor or whoever that's there. You're going to start talking with your sponsor. You're going to be telling them where you at, how you feel, what's going on, because that's the fifth step. But as we listening to you, we writing down your character defects. Like you might be holding on to anger. You might be holding on to resentments. You might be holding on to fear. So we're going to write these things down to let you know you got to flip it. Wherever the jealousy, the insecurities, the distrust, I had to learn to put faith there. I had to learn to forgive. I had to learn to practice some acceptance. But those are spiritual principles that I had to learn to override that negative side or whatever that happened in my fourth step, because I'm looking back at it in order for me to have peace like right now. And then dealing with that now, I didn't did the fourth with you. I didn't share a little bit of the fifth, and I shared the sixth. That's when your sponsor gonna give you a list, of your character defects. Basically, you're going to pray to God and ask him to remove your characters and defects. That's done on a daily basis. And when I say that, that means you don't want to keep acting out on that anger, that fear, that resentment, that jealousy, all that type of stuff. So you want to put something positive on it. That's why you pray and you ask God to remove those things just for the day. Then you might find yourself acting out on certain things. It's a just for the day thing to keep peace in your life. That's all. So now I done took you from what OG is saying. I kind of walked you from the fourth step, why that's so important. Fifth, sixth, once again, you being honest with yourself, you having faith in yourself because you're opening up your mind now, and then you trusting back in yourself. That's on a deeper level. Then you do it again with 7, 8, 9. You're going on a deeper level, deeper as you go up. That's inside. With OGs like what my predecessors like OG is talking about. You got to get to know yourself, family. I don't care what else you do in life. Whenever you hear me talk about my 12-step spiritual journey, I want you to say the same things. My 12-step spiritual journey, because it's a journey that you got to walk on. But you got to say it to yourself. My 12-step spiritual journey. It's nobody else's. That's why you got the two OGs here.
And see, and what I'm not liking is that they come in for somebody else. They're not gonna get the message because they're not in there for themselves. They're in there either by courts or whatever. But how do you expect us to turn you away? Because we can help you. It's just you have to be willing to help yourself first. So you can't do this for nobody else. You've got to do this for yourself in order for it to work.
And see, like OG said, and it's so true, because we know that you might have been court ordered. We know that you might be doing it for your girlfriend. We know you might be doing it for your parents. But if it's not for you, that's what he's saying. If it's not for you personally, you'll turn around and go back. So you have to have that desire for yourself, not based on other people. It can start you out now, but it has to be for yourself, or you're going to find yourself going back to using. That's why some people struggle with the program, because they come in for all the wrong reasons. Now,
And you know what?
Come on, OG.
And you know what? I was monitoring the table, bro. Okay, because I had more clean time than everybody at the table. Tell me why a young man walked in, sat at my table, then I told him, if you're not here for yourself, then you might as well turn around and walk out of here. But if you're here for yourself and you want to stop, and you're tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired, then you're in the right spot. But if not, don't waste nobody's time in here. I'm sorry, but we'll try to help you the best we can. But if you're not doing it for yourself, what are we doing? Wasting our breath? Wasting our air? I mean, come on, recovery is important to people's lives. It's important to my life.
Right.
And my recovery book is the Bible. That's my recovery.
Right.
And that's what I use during my recovery starting out.
And I just want to say this in the process of what OG is saying. A lot of our predecessors, listen to what he's saying. If you're not about recovery, they're not going to waste their time on you. That's all it is. If they give you suggestions and like sit on the front row, take the cotton out your ears, put it in your mouth, stuff like that, do a 90-90. Even if you do 3 meetings a day, 90-90, right? Like OG was sharing a little bit earlier. The point is, we got to watch if you're taking the suggestions to know that you're serious about wanting to be clean and stay clean. We only can give you the suggestions. But I'm telling y'all personally now, with a person with 33 years clean, 37 years clean, right? When they gave you suggestions, if you did not do it, they will come at you hard. Like OG remind me so much. He was in predecessor zone, right? And I remember being fed like that early on. But when they get to the point now, because you got people with a substantial amount of clean time, they're going to give you the suggestions. If you play with it, it's like the hell with you. And I'm not trying to be smart. That's all it is. Because a lot of people come in like OG saying. They might be court ordered. They might come in to save their marriage. They might for whatever reason, which is the beginning, but it has to become for you. Because that's the only way you want to stick and stay. That's why I thank God, OG, just for today, God took that desire from me as far as to use and do the things I used to do. It's not to say once in a while certain things might not pop up. I'll be like, heck to the no. But I understand the difference between having a real strong desire and just a thought. And I thank God for the last 33 years, OG. I haven't had a strong desire, where I would go back and want to use again. To me, it's just not worth it. No matter what I go through, and I've been through a lot, family. I've been through a lot, and I know I still got a lot more to go through. When I lost Tanya Copeland a couple of years ago, man, that shut me down. That was my best sister. That was my sister. I never expected to lose my sister. But I had to rely more on what OG is saying. I had to rely on the work, the Bible, the 12-step spiritual program, everything we was taught. I had to go back to and stand on it. That's why OG said, I'm going to say religiously, Bible-wise, he's more stronger because it's all the same, but he's staying firm, more stronger that way. I'm there, but mine is spiritual. I don't want to get the two mixed up because it's basically the same. It's how you carry it and how your attitude, your perception, and life has changed. So when we talk, he might tell you a little bit about how he used to be. Then he'll go right in. He's going to tell you the man who he is today and how he deal with people and all that. That's the recovery process. Come on, OG.
I mean, we are actually supposed to give it away, but who are we really giving it away to? We're giving what we were taught to somebody else that may not even be there to even listen at all. You know, he may be on his phone. Well, guess what? Young man, you can't be on your phone. If you're on your phone, and you can walk out the door. Because right now, my recovery is in jeopardy because of you. So either you're going to turn your phone off and listen, or you're going to walk your motherfucking ass out that damn door. Period. He shut his phone off, put it in his pocket, took the cotton out of his ears, and he listened. Because I didn't play.
And see, guess what?
When I monitor a table, don't try to run no bullshit story against me because I've already been there, done that. And I will tell you how I made it out.
And guess what?
Explain to me.
Everything my predecessor is saying, I hear everything he's saying. That's why I'm over here, right? I'm checking my other live streams to see can they hear him on there too. But look, everything he's saying, I'm telling y'all, I had to learn to listen and learn. I hear everything OG is saying, not just hear. I feel him spiritually. So I know he's speaking truth. And because we're streaming from TikTok right now, I'm trying to make sure that y'all hear us on Facebook. Y'all hear us on YouTube. Y'all can hear my predecessor on, well, when I say Facebook, my 2 Facebook pages. On Twitter, I'm on Twitch right now, looking at myself on Twitch. They can hear him over on Twitch as well. That's why I put him close to this. So when he comes up and he speak, him and whoever, all of y'all can hear him on my restream, my stream network. That's how we communicate with y'all. Because I'm streaming to 6 other platforms. I just want to make sure, that's why I'm looking at it while he talks, to make sure we're live on all of them.
And you know what? And I'm glad because the people that are on the live stream, maybe they need to really hear what we're really saying, bro. Because there's a lot of people that are still looking, but are still judging. And that's another thing that I can't take that, dude. Either you're in this thing for yourself or get the hell out. Stop wasting our time. And I'm glad that this platform is out like this because we can actually be honest about ourselves. Be honest about our own recovery and our own hurts, our own pains, whatever the case may be. We have a platform where we're able to be true and to be raw about what we talk about because right now, recovery is all in my life.
All right, all right, OG, hold up 1 minute. This is YouTube, OG. I'm listening to you on YouTube. See, for me, family, I want to make sure my predecessor is heard. And I know he's just not heard in Baltimore City. He heard all around the world. I already know all that. But now I'm on YouTube because I want to make sure we are restreaming to all the live stream platforms that I have. Thank you, OG. TikTok makes it number 6, family. The stream, that platform I have, I stream to 8 platforms at one time. And to know that I got OG right here and I'm streaming to 6 other platforms, that's a beautiful feeling to me because we're not in a box. We're streaming all over. Come on, OG.
That lets us know that whoever is watching, wherever they're watching, you can still get the message regardless of where you're at. So if you want to have a meeting, guess what? We're right here with you.
Yeah,
You'll
OG.
have a meeting right now and won't think nothing of it. I've done it on one of my lives. I've literally had a step one on my live. And you know what? When I got done doing that, a lot of people thanked me for that because that's what they were missing. Somebody that's going to tell them the truth and tell them how recovery really is.
Wait a minute, OG. That's a lot of noise in the background. Can they bring it down some? Cause I need you to talk, but that's a lot of noise in the background. Come on, that's all they gotta do is just turn it down some. Or you take your butt in another room. See, I can talk to him because I'm older than him.
Yeah, but I'm a little bit more wiser.
Whatever.
I
look. Some days I might give him the credit.
Right.
Yeah, come on, OG, finish talking. It's a lot in the back. It's a lot in the back.
Yeah, I know. Hold tight for a minute. Hold tight
All
for
right.
a minute.
Thank y'all, Be More City. Be More City. Be More City. Now, the topic once again is like good and evil. Real simple. I'm gonna just try to make it simple. Choose which one you serve this day. So basically, in the recovery process, they told us that if you in recovery, you living by spiritual principles, morals, values, stuff like that, right? And you're not trying to continue living that deceitful lifestyle. So the goal is to pick which road you want to travel. If you on the fence, you straddling between good and evil. And to be honest with y'all, AI was saying that was okay. AI said it was okay. But what it was saying, the reason why it said it's okay, because you are human. So sometimes we're going to do what's righteous, and sometimes we're going to do what's wrong. So that's why I came back and I said it saved y'all, right? Because some people going to give 80% to what is right. Some people might only give 20% to what is wrong. So that's why I can say that, because I try my best not to be quick.
No, you didn't bring no cane.
Yeah, I try my best not to be so quick to fall into the flesh,
Sure
right?
that screen is shut for me, please.
Wait a minute, OG.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so it kind of helped me understand basically a balance, because I wanted to make sure when I came on here, because for me, the goal is to live totally different from how I used to. You get me? And if I find myself repeating old behaviors, I know I'm hitting back in that direction. So I love the road that I'm on. But I know too, if I decide out of anger, fear, resentment, something like that, to act like a fool again, 9 times out of 10, I'm mad about something. So that's why I try to stay on the road. And I'm going to use this word right here. That's why I try to stay on the road of righteousness rather than the road of being evil and nasty and deceitful. I don't want to give that much power and energy. Come on, OG.
Cut it out, bro. You know better. We got to get more positive than negative out anyway. Come on, we all know this. Me personally, I have a problem right now, but you know what? With me talking right now, that problem don't even exist to me right now, bro. Somebody had the nerve to walk into my home and steal all of my medications.
Oh my God.
From out of my house. Yes, every last bit of it. So I had to do the police report, everything like that, call the pharmacist, call the doctor. So now Tuesday, I gotta let the manager know here that somebody took my medications. So it's all documented and everything like that. So yeah, that's what I've been going through for the past day. Been aggravated, agitated, and angry, but you know what? Maybe I needed this meeting. Maybe this was my calling to come to this meeting, because maybe I needed to talk and be honest with people of how recovery really is. Recovery is hard because you got to apply it every day of your life. You cannot skip not one step, not one. If somebody gives you a suggestion, don't no. Take that suggestion, because that suggestion may just save your life. Really, please take the suggestions that people give you, because they've been there, they've done it, and they know how to get out of it. Me personally, it worked. It worked for me. It may not work for other people, but it worked for me. See, I was really down and out. If I told myself I was going to sleep up underneath the bridge, I must have really been down and out. I was really tired of being tired. And when I was able to get the help that I got, I appreciated God for giving me that help. I don't do anything without God in my life, because I had already knew I was going to be one of his chosen ones. I already knew it, because he told me that before I was even born.
Right.
Before he even put me in my mother's stomach, he had already told me, my son, you are going to be one of my angels and one of my predecessors. Before he put me in mom. So I had already knew I was going to be a God's child. And what I speak is the truth. Nothing comes out wrong. May come out a little frustrating, but that's just life. But please, if you ever have a problem with recovery, talk to your sponsor. Call somebody on your list. Always make sure you have numbers, men for men, women for women. Y'all communicate. If somebody's having a problem, I can almost guarantee you, any number you call, they're going to pick the hell up. I don't give a care. Especially if you're an addict in need and you need some help now, trust me, they're going to stop, and they're going to stop doing what they're doing to come and help you. I've had that happen to me a couple of times. It was a savior, because I was really crying out for help. And I called matter of fact, I called my sponsor.
Right.
That's who I called. My sponsor said, Jeff, I'll be there in 45 minutes. My sponsor showed up in 30. He saw the house. He saw me. He said, what's wrong, Jeff? I said, I'm angry. I'm frustrated. I'm being taken advantage of. And I knew and I know I am. And then I just snapped. And I called out for help.
Mm.
And he said, you know what? Grab your coat, just grab your coat and come with me. He stopped off at a Starbucks, got his coffee. We went somewhere real quiet, real peaceful, and we had a nice heart-to-heart talk. And you know that is important to someone that really needed that help at that point in time. The conversations that you can have with your sponsors, oh my God, it's phenomenal. Because my sponsors had wonderful, wonderful stories about me. And you know what? I wish I would have stayed where I was at. I would still be sponsoring them, but you know what? All of them have made it. I get a phone call every now and then. But recovery does work if you let it, if you work it right.
And it does. It does. I had Baltimore's Men of Integrity was a private men's group that I created. I just opened it up to be public. And most of the guys that's on there are people that I grew in this recovery process with. And businessmen.
So you have your own OGs that you hang and talk to in your recovery, which is nice because now they're showing you 40 to 50 to 60 years clean. Them are the type of sponsors I'm looking for. I want that knowledge. them are the sponsors that I was trying to grab, brother. Was those because I knew they were spiritual. I knew they were into the program, and I knew that they wouldn't tell me no lie. And them were the type of sponsors I was looking for, and found one.
You know what gets me, OG? A lot of them that know me, when they see me, they remember when I first came around. Some of them had like 5 years, 6 years, 3 years, whatever, right? Just for us to be around, as long as we all have, like when I go up each year to get my keychain, they might yell out, man, how much time you got? How much time you got? And I say 33 years. That's how long they've been guiding me through this process. And I know they've been here just as long as I've been here because a lot of us was young at the time. I mean, I was in my 30s. They might have been 35, 40. And now look at it, 33 years later, 35 years later for them, or 37, 38, stuff like that, because they might have had 5 years. And people like that blew me away because I did not know, that people can stay clean like that a day at a time.
I'm coming up on 38 years clean. Oh my God, bro, really?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, just like I said,
that's a testament by itself.
Yep, just like I said, we do recover. And when I say that, I'm not just talking about what I be trying to tell people when I say we do recover from a hopeless and a helpless state of mind. If you the type of person that feel like you can't accomplish nothing in life, yes, you can. But it's the work you put in, you know.
I did because when I came in, I had nothing. Just the clothes on my back. I had been homeless 5 years. So it was already a survival mode for me during my recovery. But did I really let people really know where I was at? No. Because that wasn't their business at that point in time. So I ended up walking home a lot, which was fine with me because I didn't live that far anyway from help if I needed it. You know, my family, my recovery family, the group that I, joined. So I was okay with it until I got into recovery. Once I got to recovery, they showed me how to stay clean. They showed me how to love myself. But most of all, they taught me the most important lesson. You were taught. Now give it away.
Right.
And I thought about that for a minute, bro. I'm like, what the hell do you guys, what do you mean? They say, we just gave you the knowledge and the wisdom to stay clean. Now you can pass that on to someone else that needs to be in there too. And I thought about that and I'm like, damn, that did make sense. I can only keep what I had by giving it away. And from that day to when I moved up here, I stuck to it. Then I told all my sponsees I was leaving. And they all was like, dang, man, why you had to leave? Because, dude, we gotta go. We gotta go. But I mean, you know, it worked out. I still get my phone calls once a month from about 3 of my sponsees. They tell me how they're doing. They tell me the family is doing great. And they still thank me to this day for getting them out of that rut that they were in when they were in it. You know, because I used to bring my sponsees to my house while I was married. And I brought my sponsees into my home to teach them about recovery in front of my wife. My wife looked at me real strange. She didn't think I knew about recovery because she was in recovery, but I mean, that's fine and good. But I'm knee deep into this and I can tell you about the book from front to back to back to front. I can tell you the stories. I can tell you anything about that book. But I didn't go through that book. I went through the book of Bible. The real 12 steps that are in there are real. There's no sugarcoating over it or anything. Everything that all 12 steps, all 12 traditions are in that Bible.
Yep.
That's what I came to my meetings with. I didn't come with no book, with no NA book. No. I was smarter than that. I came in with the book himself. So that's how I learned recovery, and that's how I still learn recovery, because I'm reading my Bible daily. And if I'm not reading my Bible, I'm getting it from somewhere. I'm getting a lesson from somewhere. Someone that's truthful, honest, and loving, which I do.
You know, I'm gonna look that up because I haven't heard about that in a long time.
What's that?
The 12 Steps to Serenity. I used to have that that book, and what it did, it took you into Bible to break down the 12 steps from the scriptures that they got it from. And I had all of that in my first 5 years into recovery. Anything to help you grow spiritually is what I started focusing on. You know, when I talk about Melanie Beatty, she wrote Melanie Beatty during this time. Let me see, I got 33 years, which they had 15 years clean at the time. So Melanie Beatty probably got, God dang it, 33, 15. I know she probably, but now they came from they came from AA. So she had all together probably, I know every bit of 50 years. Huh?
No, I'm actually talking to my dog.
All right. So I know she wrote this book called Codependency No More. And I brought that book, and that book taught me how to break certain other behaviors, mainly when we become addicted to people. That's why it's called Codependency No More. When we start like doing everything we can to satisfy other people rather than self. So what I had to do was learn to flip it and understand that everybody, even though I'm a loving, caring, kind, considerate person, everybody don't deserve my love because they won't appreciate it. And that's why when you hear me say stuff like, I'm addicted to women, I have no problem in taking care of women. But I had to learn you can't keep doing that, Steve, because I will try to fix you in the process. I cannot fix you. I cannot mold you. I cannot shape you. That's why when I hear people talk about getting her to do this and do that, or getting him to do that, do this, I'm like, okay, you trying to control that individual. But they don't realize it.
You're welcome, big boy.
But that's what you're doing. Because I was once there. So when I come back to say that, when you want to dictate, when you want to steal somebody else's independence, they don't realize that. I was there at one point. I had to break it. Love that individual for who they are. You know, you don't have to try to. If I see you,
but love them from a distance first. Get to know them, then bring them close. But that was what my sponsor taught me. Love from a distance.
I don't know. I don't know. I like what you're saying, but I don't know about that's afterwards. I love you from a distance after I didn't let you go. I don't know about before, because I don't know you before. I'm learning to know you, but I'll end up caring too much for you.
Right, but that's the thing. Once you get to know her and get to love her, then it's a little bit better for you and for your partner. That's how my second wife and I were, bro.
OG, look at this.
We both go to what?
Look at this. Look at this.
Say something smart.
Do you hear me when I say I don't just love my ex-wife? I'm still in love with my ex-wife. That's just not a healthy place for me. So I had to learn to love her from a distance.
You know what? And I can understand that because, number one, to be honest with you, I never really cared anything about my first wife at all. I was just there for comfortability till I'm able to get out on my own. Once I got my Social Security check to myself, then I was on my own. I did what I wanted to do without nobody's permission, without nobody telling me what I can and what I can't do. No, I'm getting ready to leave your ass one way or another. And I told her, I'm only here for comfortability. I really don't love you. Not anymore. First time you put your hands on me, I stopped loving you. I stopped I started to distance myself from you. Even in the bed, I don't grab you. I don't hold you. I don't do nothing. You're ice to me. I still help you, yes. That's my job as a husband. But you lost my respect the first time you put your hands on me. And the first time you let your son put his hands on me, I was done then. I was already mentally gone already, bro. I was there, but I wasn't there.
Right. I got you.
For my first wife. Now, my beloved wife now, that one there, I've been knowing that one there since 84. Okay? We stayed friends. We stayed in contact with each other just to see how we were doing. 2013 come up. No, 2012 come up. And I lose my mother. So I go find her, my best friend, at the family house. I'm thinking she's at the family house, so I'm going to go over there. And when she saw me, and I saw her, I'm like, look, I don't have a pot to piss in or when it's all out of, but I do have a place for you to be, so you ain't got to be with that one you're with now. You know what she said? She said, give me 2 weeks. You still come and get me, still do, what we're going to do, this, that, and the other. And it was easy for us. It was easy for us, I guess, you could say, where you've been friends for so long, but you know you love this woman, but you don't know how to tell her. Or her telling you how much he loves you and can't tell you. So at that point, it made it a lot easier because we have been knowing each other for so long that connection was there. It felt like my whole journey was over. But then when she passed, I had to go through the fire. I had to go through hell. I had to do whatever I had to do to come up, to be stronger, better, and to do what my father asked of me to do. I have another mission. I just don't know what it is. I know I do. I know I'm not done down here yet. God's already told me, no, my child, you're not done. And I know this. So why am I going to keep questioning him? Questioning him is like questioning your recovery. Am I good enough? Am I going to stay? What am I going to do? I stayed with both my recovery and the man upstairs.
Let me share this with you, OG. My first wife was my best wife. I didn't understand that until I got married second time. My first wife helped me. My second wife helped me to understand the work that it took or it takes to keep a marriage together. But in my first marriage, I ended up meeting somebody. And I had a house down the street from the house that me and my first wife was in. So Monday through Friday, I stayed down the house down the street, and I would have to go home for the weekends because I was driving the tractor trailer. And I acted like I was out on the road Monday through Friday. Now, I got stuck. This is what my first wife told me. I was in the house crying because I was in the midst of both houses. My ex-wife said this, my first wife, she said, Steve, she said, I know you love me, but I understand you're not in love with me. She said, you can go. And when she told me that, it was like a weight was lifted off of me. And I left out the house and went to the other house, right? Now, the reason why I'm saying this, because a lot of us, our stories are different. You know what I mean? And it's not to ever. That's why I try to tell people don't try to not you, but I try to tell people don't compare stuff with me because I'm only coming from a level of personal experience. Right now to this day, my first wife, have a great relationship with my family. She have a better relationship than my second wife because she's been a part of the family for so long. But my second wife is the one that took it upon herself not to really get to involve herself with my family. So that made things one-sided for us, which made it real hard because it got to the point my family started staying away from the house because they didn't want to deal with my second wife. I said, if I get married a third time, because I am a family man, it's not just about the woman. I'm not going to stop dealing with my children. I'm not going to stop dealing with my grandchildren. I'm not going to stop dealing with my family because you feel like you don't like them. If you can't get along with them just like you get along with me, do not come in my life. I'm not going to go through that again. I've been through that. And I'm not going to sit up here, and I'm saying me. If you don't get along with, if you can't get along with my daughters, my grandkids, my nieces, my nephews, and you feel like they showing me too much love and attention, I don't want you here. I've been there. So I know when some people say, well, once you get married, it's the man and the woman. I know all of that because I went there until I lost myself. And I said, I'll never do it again. When I found myself standing by myself, when my family was gone, and I'm standing there with more of her family, it was like I was pulled over by no. And see, people don't realize when you do that, you destroying your own relationship. So I said, for me, I will never do that again. I will never take another woman and make her my God. I will never do it again. Where she's
now that you now listen, since you brought up family, okay? Her family has been knowing me since '84. I knew her mother. Beautiful lady, understanding, loving, caring, all of that you would think in a mother-in-law. Well, I was that son-in-law that she never had. And it hurt because I missed her funeral, but it hurt me because I was married at the time. I was cooking, cleaning, pretty much taking care of the whole house, plus doing 8 hours, 12 hours at a job. Still had to come home and cook, clean, and whatever. And I got tired. So I'm like, something? This is not how this is supposed to work. You're supposed to be getting your ass up. I work every fucking day. Then you expect me to come home, clean the house, cook dinner, plus take care of you? No, I'm getting too fucking tired and you're not helping. So now from now on, you will cook, you will take care of the house. I'm done. And she looked at me like, I don't believe you just said that. I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not a maid anymore. I'm supposed to be your husband, not a maid. And not a punching bag. So yeah, I'm done. That was the only wife, my first wife, I divorced. And it was because of abuse. The judge looked at her and said, ma'am, even though I know you're sick, but that does not give you the right to do what you just did. And she looked at me and she said, you know what? I'm glad I did what I did. I'm like, you know what? No offense, but God's going to get you. And when he does, he's going to strike you real hard. Because you done messed with one of his angels. He going to get you. And he got her. He got her. He caught her with lupus. And she regretted it. But you know what? Who made that deal? I left with a clean head, clean slate, and I didn't feel no remorse. Actually, I felt like dancing, and I did, down the hallway, skipping. Literally.
That's not nice. My ex-wife mother, which is my ex-mother-in-law, she passed away. They just buried her around about the 10th or the 11th, right? I had my suit ready. I had everything ready to go and support them, my ex-wife. Right. No matter whether we together or not, that was my ex-mother-in-law still. I wanted to go and show her the utmost respect because to me that's family. I picked everything out that Friday. Well, I ended up in the hospital. That Friday, I had the top of my toe amputated. I could not make it to the funeral. I was hurt because I wanted to go hug my ex-wife, tell her no matter what, I still love you. I knew she was hurt. I wanted to squeeze her because she lost her mother, just to let her know I'm here for her. I couldn't make it, but I told her that on the phone. And I told her this. I said, the only reason why I didn't come to your house when your mother passed, because I know you got another man, which is her oldest daughter, father. I know him and everything too. I just felt like I didn't want to cross that line and disrespect him by just popping up. Right. So that's why I told her I did not come, and she understood. But the goal with all of that, I lost my mother-in-law, bro. And I knew her mother before I met her. So it wasn't all about what went wrong with us, you know, because some people will use it to scorch the family. That scared my children so freaking much, because their mother-in-law, my mother-in-law, their grandmother, was 66. I'm 64. And when I got sick, my kids were scared they was gonna lose their father. And I had to tell my kids, even though we was close, same in age, Daddy ain't trying to go nowhere yet. I don't know when God gonna call me home, but I'm looking at my children, man. They scared as all outdoors because Daddy old. And I'm trying to say things to build them and encourage them and motivate them to help them. I can't promise them now, but to help them understand, Daddy ain't trying to go nowhere yet. That's why I went into the hospital to get my toe amputated, because they looked at me, Dad, your feet bleeding. And I looked at that look on their face, and it reminded me of that when I got operated before, and they thought they was going to lose their father. So that's why it's so important to take care of yourself. Right now, I made an appointment to see the kidney doctor. I made an appointment to see the liver doctors. I made an appointment to see the eye doctors. I made an appointment to see whatever doctor I need to see to make sure my organs is functioning well. Because I ain't ready to go yet.
Well, I will be doing all of that after my oral surgery. I have to have oral surgery, so that's one of the things that I'm really trying to get done right now, is to have my jaw fixed perfectly, and where I'm able to get another set of teeth, because the ones I've had for a while. So then after that, it's all hands on deck now. So now I'm getting ready to make a kidney doctor, lung doctor,
all of that.
Yeah, you know.
They called look, OG. They called me today, Mr. Copeland. We want look. They called me today to set up my appointments for June. I'm like, no problem. Make sure they're at the 12. No problem. Make sure they're at the 12. So
yeah, of course.
And then look, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow. Oh my God, tomorrow's Saturday. But next week, what I am going to do, I am going to make an appointment for the dentist and everything, because when I was staying with my niece back then and I was locked up, they raided her house for whatever reason, right? It was just a bunch of bull junk, you know. And what happened, she left. And when she ran, she left all of my stuff there, and my stuff got thrown away. My false teeth, my laptop, all of that. So once I came home, OG, and I know you know, because we talked about it a lot, I had to go buy underwears and all that stuff again. All my stuff was gone. So I got to go back now and get my teeth again. I know I look good, right? I already know I look good. But then I'm going to look better. But no, I got, yeah.
You did that too much.
Forget you, OG. You jealous.
Do not do that bullshit.
You jealous.
No, you did that way too motherfucking good, bro.
Look, I got to. Cause look, OG, seriously, sometimes I be down. Look, that's the way I had to build my self-esteem, right? I be looking at myself sometimes. I like Keith, and then I gotta go inside and be like, well, no matter what, I'm still a good-looking guy. You just jealous.
No, you said that.
You jealous. You ain't lying, OG. I got to. Look, I ain't kidding. Cause I was telling little Steve the other day. No, it wasn't Steve or my daughter. I said, I gotta go in and make my dentist appointment, right? Cause I've been looking at myself lately and I be wanting to say something, right? I'm like, I gotta go get my teeth, y'all. I ain't playing. I've been all right with it. I've been going to meetings and having all this type of stuff. Because I wasn't looking at, because when you're doing certain things, I'm talking about business-wise, right? And you being professional, sometimes this don't get in the way of stuff. But I know what I do, and I know I want to fix this up more. Excuse me, OG.
You know what? I've had mine for almost 23 years. Same pair, bro. Tried to get another pair, they told me no. So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I just hold on to them. They're down to their last leg, bro. I'm surprised I'm still eating with the mugs. To be honest with you, they're just that wore out.
You lucky Phyllis came up here, because I'm going to try to be nice. The only because I be telling people, nice. I be telling people it's only 2 times I take my teeth out: when I eat and when I eat. Bye, y'all. I'm getting ready to go. Look, when I eat, when I had my teeth anyway out, it was only 2 times I took them out.
Hey, Phyllis, how are you, honey? You can turn your mic on.
I love y'all on Facebook. I'm getting ready to end this when it's almost 8 o'clock. But oh God, thank you, OG, man. I had a wonderful time picking with your butt. What's up, Phyllis?
But you know, in reality,
you just noticing me now?
How I just noticed you I've noticed you came up with all that noise.
3 times, hey Steve, 3 times.
No, you didn't. You came up with all that noise.
Well, yeah, and I had to mute her.
I just turned my mic on.
I know, because I muted you as soon as you got in. You were too loud.
Oh, really?
Yes, ma'am. I ain't gonna lie.
Every time people come up here, why y'all come up here with all that noise in the background?
Because I be forgetting that my mic is on. Don't make me come and get you, Steve. You know we neighbors. I can come up the hill now.
Oh shit.
Wait a minute. Did you move closer?
Oh yeah.
No, I know where you at. I know where you at, but I'm just saying, did you move closer?
No.
See,
I can walk up the hill now. It ain't no problem.
I'm a little worried.
No, I'm not a little worried. One day Phyllis told me when I come down so we can walk around the reservoir together.
Yeah.
I came down and I didn't call her.
I know he forgets every time. I see him on Facebook walking, but it's fine.
You didn't feel it.
Forget about your friend, your neighbor. It's all good. I still love you.
She ain't kidding, because when I got down and I kind of walked around, you know, some days I don't know where I might go. I'll pray, right. But I'll start out. And once I go out, I look this way, I look that way. And if I go that way, right, I'm going to go all the way down the Harford Road and come all the way back around the long way. So that day, I said I would walk down there to school and then go around the reservoir. But I'm going to tell you, when I walked around that reservoir, that sucker seemed like it's long. You ain't
got to tell me. That is a long walk. Because I did it one time to support my friend for the cancer walk. I'm going to say about 5 years ago. And I was the last one that got to the finish line. Because that walk and my knee was hurting too. But I kept on going because I wanted, I didn't want to give up. I wanted to support her. and I ain't been walking around that reservoir since then. That's a long walk. That's more than 2.5 miles.
That's what I was trying to ask. I was trying to ask people.